Many thanks for staying with us on the conversation as we delve into a pivotal moment in Lagos State politics marked by the significant leadership change in the Lagos State House of Assembly. On January 13, 2025, Speaker Mudashiru Obasa was impeached amid serious allegations of gross misconduct and abuse of office. And a groundbreaking turn of events, Mojisola Lasbat Miranda was sworn in as the new speaker, making history as the first female to hold this esteemed position here in Lagos State. So, joining us to have this conversation on this monumental shift and its implication for governance in Lagos is Razak Olukoba. He's the convener of the Campaign for Dignity in Governance. Razak, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, viewers at home.
So tell me, Razak, what was your reaction on that day when you got the news?
Well, I first look at what the political officers were saying,
Okay.
because I thought it would be a divided
House.
house. But half of the people I listened to were saying that, according to them, that was a good riddance to a bad rubbish. Half of that house said that it's coming too late. I should have happened earlier than now.
So like most of the House.
Yes,
were
and
in
the last
support.
quarter, the last quarter was saying that it shouldn't have happened before, that Obasa shouldn't have become the speaker, that the sophistication of Lagos is way beyond him. So as a member of civil society, I reflected on those three positions, and I remember a few incidents that has happened. The crisis in the house between him and his colleagues. Then the list submitted by the party for the ESCO. People say it's the government. I say it's not the list belonging to the government. It's the party that did that nomination. So when it was not handled very well, if you marry to what people have said, you may want to draw the same conclusion with them. And the recent budget is a reflection of party's manifesto. It's not about the governor.
Not about the governor.
So a lot of young people also commit that error, that the parliament and the executive are supposed to be at loggerhead. And I said no. Under a presidential system of government, if the party owns the house and owns the executive, why will you be fighting over your own program? It's the opposition in the parliament that should be criticizing the manifesto of the party in the parliament. It's not going to be the Saraki, who was an APC senator and a Buhari, an APC president, now turning the budget of the party into shred in the public. It shouldn't be so. So I said, no, it's a big mistake on his side, and I think that is what culminated into what has happened. When I saw the crisis between him and his colleagues, in my own mind, I said he shouldn't have come back for the third time. And when he came back, I knew it would come to this. In Africa, we copy the model, this democracy, the European model. But we copy it by half. In the Parliament of Britain now, sitting in that house, we have 4 former prime ministers there, sitting as ordinary member. The war did not come to an end. So, coming for the third time, if he had been in the Parliament as a member, the world will not come to an end, and you'll be guiding them. You see, when familiarity gets to a point, you tend to abuse where you are sitting. You won't be sitting with the right posture again. You'll be sitting, but if you periodically stand up and come back to that seat, it will be good. So he's been there for so long that he took a lot of things for granted. And I think the party had done the appropriate thing, because this is clearly a party decision, the entire house.
Right.
No member of the disagree with the decision that it should go. So it's clearly a very popular opinion. If I were him, I would just allow you to go. When I saw that people want to come out to come and protest, I said, these people are wasting their time, because the party took a decision and you want to upturn it.
Nobody, not even a governor. Not
So,
even it's bigger than the party.
it's bigger than the party. So it's a party decision.
All right, so what does this transition signify now for the legislative arm
Well, it should be a further political education to the people in the house that you can be relieved of any position anytime. You should know that it's an assignment, it's a call to serve your people. If you are no longer wanted, go home peacefully or go back to your seat peacefully and begin to offer your service. So for the people in the parliament, I don't think there will be any issue. There's no dissenting voice on this matter. And activity has moved on. So I don't want the impression people have about Lagos to change about the most advanced democracy in Nigeria.
Okay.
So, and with what has happened, it's a further testimony that truly Lagos is the most advanced democracy. So it's not a bad thing, it's not an aberration. So for the member of the parliament, they should continue their exercise and learn from what he has done. Be committed to party program. Be committed to governor, and be committed to the people. People, political class will put aside what is called governance. And they begin to pursue personal issues. They may have personal issue with somebody in the party. That's why the error he made has come to full. But that shouldn't be happening. What should be paramount in the mind of all of us and all of them is the people. Look at the budget of Lagos State. The one that attracts my attention most is what is going to spend on the security. That's why, because Lagos is thriving economically. Health sector, is the only record you have to challenge in Nigeria when it comes to the health sector. The same thing education. So, but for security, security is very central. And if you look at the model it has been on ground since the days of Tinubu, Fashola Epel, and somebody is also trying to do something amazing about it. You will discover that if you remove one of the sectors in the life of a Lagos people today, we are in chaos. For instance, if you remove last man, short last man down for 6 hours, and that's security. People might assume it's transport. It's not. It's part of security to ensure that traffic goes and come back. Because if you spend 3 hours to office, 3 hours back, that's 6 hours from production time. It's going to decline the production. So, to me, the economy of Lagos is very paramount to me. A state that houses 52% of a nation's economy, you don't toy with it. You don't joke with it. And that's why the conclusion of the third layer that says that the sophistication of Lagos is, we have to conduct our research very well before you give such sensitive positions to anybody. I've looked at Miranda. It's good, she's good, and it's her gender. So
okay,
you need to rally around that.
Now that you moved to our agenda. Now, Miranda is the first female speaker in Lagos State. So what do you believe that her leadership represents for women in governance in the state?
Well, that's been model of APC. That's been model of APC, and that's a very good one that
nobody saw it coming.
Lagos has joined the league of Ogun here, very close to you, has had a female speaker before. And some other state as well too. The weak position the women argue on what belongs to them is what disappointing to me. You want the constitution to assign certain percentage. You are equal owner with men.
Certain positions to women. Yeah.
You are equal. You have equal rights to become the president, to become the governor. You now begin to argue from position of weakness that this thing that belongs to all of us. So can you assign certain roles? It's not supposed. For me, I don't want that you to be saying that you have to go out. Your challenge is your folk, is your gender.
Our favorite gender.
We are very supportive. We want women to lead, but it's the same. Miranda will not have crisis, but if you want to have crisis, no could come from your gender. Men will rally around that. If you see all the people around her.
She has more. She has men around her.
That's our nature.
Around her.
That's our nature. We want you to succeed. So it is you that will say who you see, who is it. So for me, I don't see any challenge, any issue with Miranda because we're there. Before, you have learned the rope, you understand the parliamentary terrain very well. So she's going to deliver. So any stakeholder in Lagos State today must know the importance of ensuring that the parliament and the executive and the party and other layers move swiftly. Because just close our eyes and say that, assuming there's no Lagos. As you are, I'm not from Lagos. But I know who connect to my economy as I live in Lagos. Yeah. So if Lagos is 25 million, in actual fact, The economy of Lagos is actually 100 million, half of the population of Nigeria. Since 1996, thereabout, we have been taking census of who comes and leaves Lagos. The number of people that are coming here is always higher than the people that are leaving,
that are
which means
leaving.
the population is increasing itself. So you don't talk with such a state. So for me, let's support Miranda to succeed. And again, for Mr. Governor, I like his style. His style. There are political principalities that he always submits his matter to if anything happens to him. And that principality in politics is always fighting for him. If I'm a governor and someone didn't allow me to present my budget for 5 hours, I will get angry for me. So it's not my budget. That's the anger that will come up in me. It's the party, it's for the state. Why are you? And that's what I try to tell Saraki to that contractor like me are not paid. This is money that took somewhere. People took money from somewhere. You are removing the money from circulation. Why won't there be poverty? This Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, the completion, the delays was caused by Saraki. He took the money I was using it to do sing ball all over the country. So the parliament is a tool that all of us must ensure that it is working. The nature of the governor, every member of the parliament should take the advantage of his nature. It's not a difficult person to relate with. It's someone that is willing to work. And since it has become, have you had any political controversy with him?
No.
You can't, we can't survive certain danger in the past. And then another danger, that is why I kept cautioning the people that I've known someone for a long time. From this, I've known even for an instant. He's a very smart person and a brilliant and intelligent. So, but the future people are patient about him are who?
It just remains.
So, but because of the moment, he needs to acquire that posture.
Okay.
If he didn't acquire the posture, Lagos will have been in crisis. Imagine if he mishandled NSAS. The fire will still be burning by now.
Sure.
But he handled this very well. They throw stone at him, they call him names, he didn't get angry. He said, "We are our children."
Okay, let's
the quality of a leader.
Exactly.
Yes.
Let's continue with the leadership change at the Lagos State House of Assembly. Looking at the serious allegations against Obasa, how do you think the leadership change will now impact public trust in the state?
When it comes to issue of money, the challenge we have with public office holder is a global and universal. It's the approach that differs. EFCC has been overwhelmed by this number of cases. And it is because Nigerians are not willing to be supportive to EFCC. Before Yaya Bello was eventually arrested, people like us were out that he should come and submit himself. They say they have given us money. I say, you see, Yaya Bello that will give money to say that I should be arrested, or EFCC that will give me money. So Nigerians must learn that we have a role to play if we want them to succeed. On this matter now, nobody should be doing rally that Obasa should not be questioned. If you start doing that, there's something coming up in Agege that I was saying that's not correct. You have given him an opportunity to be able to come out of what the allegation. If it is not correct,
it's not prove yourself.
He will clear himself. Excuse me. But to say that's untouchable, that's not even the president. CBD, he was taken to Abuja that time. He was dogged. And they free him of all the allegations.
Yes.
So he was free of all the allegations. So who won't be dogged? So for him, he needs to come and clear himself. And that is when the younger generation of politicians of Nigeria will begin to have trust in the system. If you don't undo this one very well now, it will further disappoint the younger ones. So it's important, like you have said, it's important. Public confidence on the public office is very important. Let him answer the questions. And there's any consequence that comes with it, well, that is fine. It must not be swept under the carpet. We must clearly understand that the implication for all this, so that we won't know that there's no persecution on the matter. If he comes back, I know that EFCC will do the needful. But it's left to Nigerians not to become in the way of what ICBC or whoever, which agency may want to do their work will do. Don't let us come between their way. Everywhere is question. Trump, the elected president of America, is answering a case in court already. Of course. Up to now. He has gone to court and become the president of country. They said, no, this is that's election. This one is court. we will continue to try you. Maybe Middle wants him, they will suspend him until he leaves office. Netanyahu, the war is raging on. His court case is going on. You know what time? Even for football, people suspend war. But they suspend war when Pele came around, when Mali came around doing food. They say, let's watch ball first. But when it comes to case matter, nothing is suspended. The court case continues. So for him now, we should allow justice to be done. Any agency that wants to come out to do their job, we should allow them to
Joy,
do
before
so.
you say anything, sorry, I know you have a question. I just want to, compare the way the former speaker was impeached here in Lagos and how seamless it went compared to the crisis we're having in Rivers State. What does what does this say about Lagos State?
You see, for the Rivers, it has become an aberration there. Since 1999, there has been no peace. And what is missing clearly in Rivers is the regional effort. In the southwest now, there's that effort by elders in the church, elders in the mosque, political leaders, morals, that you speak to your conscience that you are not the only person in this game. If they say you should go, you have to go. So there's Afenifere, there's our group, or the organizations promoting the culture of Yoruba land. So that regional effort is permanently there, that if you want to do anything that contravenes the values of Yoruba, the values in the southwest, people will call you to order. If you look at the whole of the country now, it's only the southwest that appears safe, flowing from Lagos to other states. Why? Because there's that collaboration among the states that this is Yoruba land. Talk to your son. Don't let him join bad group. Talk to your son. Talk so. Get what we're going on. It reflects in the way we play our politics too. It reflects. But in Rivers, it's not so. The elders took position. They keep behind Wiki, they keep behind Fubara. Whereas elders will never settle matter like that. Elders should be talking about all of you coming. What is the matter? This is Odili had it.
Not take sides.
Yeah.
Odili had it. When Amachi got there, he fought him. When the minister, Wiki got there, he fought him. Now Fubara is dead. I don't know leaders in Rivers State. I don't know people that can say it's okay. In Lagos, we have 1,000 leaders here. We have 4 boys. Lagos, you have so many people
By
in
the time
Lagos.
one leader speaks,
You keep quiet.
Yeah.
So that regional effort is missing. There's nothing to it. And all over the world, there's always that elderly position that simmer things down. In America, Trump was called to order. You can't do that. There's a value that is known with America. Don't change it. We are known to be bringing people who were treated badly in their country and come here and live a very organized life. Don't change that impression about America. So they cautioned him, and he didn't listen. It consumed him. So everybody has their own peculiarity. When I go to the East, the Yoruba, you say, is calling his father. I say, no, they have their own culture. They have their own way of giving respect to their elders. It was recently that I know that there are languages you don't use for young people, old people in the Igbo land, and it's working for them. If you look at the Igbo land, there's a leadership influence in all the political activities in the East that once Ohanaeze speaks like this, and that's what is missing in Kano's effort. My best friend says iron to me, 50 million iron, 30 million iron. Kano came and this one, I have with my Chukudi. Chukudi is my friend, gives me iron. But once we look at, once we ask regional understanding, it promotes friendship between Yoruba and Igbo, the Northerners and Igbo. That's what is missing in Rivers. So that thing that is missing in Rivers is not missing in Lagos. In Lagos today, I know a lot of people are called Obasa that go Omo. Man, go back to your seat. Whereas that's not the case in Rivers. In Rivers, Fubara pulled down a parliament. That's one of the biggest political aberrations in this country after coup.
And has the support of just three
So after planning coup of 1966, that sacked that created problem for our democracy till today. That's not the biggest political aberration I've ever had of. To pull down a parliament. I have seen governors that have strong characters in this country. They have not done that. Fayose has a very strong character. It's not a bad boy, has a strong character. He didn't do that. Wike didn't do that. Many people in all over the you put and you say enjoy the support of the state. Is that democracy? So Wike has his own, but those are things that is missing in River. That's why Rivers will be like that for a long time. Until elders there, like the South leaders, took time to visit each state. That do you know the impression people have about us as a region? This is the impression they have about us. So that impression had to change about us. So if you go to other each governors and tell them this, they will conform. They will understand that the impression people all over the world have about us is important. People say that I don't care what people say about me. Distance yourself from them because they are dangerous. They are not people that are known to play with the rules. They don't play, but people say, what people say about me matter. Be close with them because they will play by the rules.
Right.
There will be law. They will play by the law, and society will move on.
Okay, so
there will be peace.
Let's go back now to the new leadership. The new leadership has pledged to make the assembly a beacon of integrity and progress. And so in order to achieve this, for you, in your own perspective, what specific reforms would you suggest, would you like to see? I
want you to stay committed to the ongoing reform that the Sanwo-Olu government is pursuing, which means that the planners and the people who look at the land atmosphere of Lagos knew that there must be a new alternative to transportation outside land. We talk about sea. So the train that is coming up, we have blue, we have red, another one is coming. Parliament must urge Mr. Governor to more of that through Miranda in our speech, in their oversight function. The economy of Lagos as well. There are so many things that the Parliament may have to do. If you look at infrastructure, infrastructure is the backbone of a nation's or the state's economy. Governors can't be everywhere. That's why they have that oversight role to play. And at times, the text message, the noise the Parliament make about certain issues is what helps the governor at times. It's not good for the governor to leave office after 2 years and say that the role you awarded was not done. But the speaker, through the people, reach the governor through the speaker to say that your other social projects also it has not been done though, through oversight function. That's good. And that is what is called parliament and executive party. That's what people don't understand. That is not until you pull down the executive, you tear Buhari's Agbada, you remove Sanwo-Olu's car by the parliament, you delay him for 4 hours. That's not parliament. Parliament is to make us happy. I'm not democracy that is about reading bad news about the governor and the parliament or president and the senate president. That's not democracy. We have been in this for too long to be witness. I want to read newspaper and see that the students are happy. Our roads are good. The security of the country is moving. I want to see that. The capital mothers of the world, mention them. It's only one country in Africa that's in that list. The capital mother, where people are murdered, which is Johannesburg. Thank God Nigeria's name is not there. So these are things that the parliament needs to be doing to be supportive to the governors. And again, the parliament needs to do more about the youth, the younger people. Miranda is a mother. Miranda needs to draw the younger people more closer. There has been bad role models that our young people are following. There has been lack of mentorship for the younger people. Now is the speaker. Bring more people to the parliament. Let them come and see the debate, talk about the future, how to engage, how to address societal issues. Watch Arsenal, watch football, play a game, do all sorts of things. But don't overplay games. The younger people in this country, we overplay games, we overdo sports, we overdo better, we oversleep, we overtalk, we overambitious. And little effort. So, and for it to begin in Lagos here is a good thing. Look at, speaking of language in the parliament now. It's on Tuesday?
Thursday.
There's no country that can prosper with a Bodo language. No country. That's why Africa is where we are today. And you know that for Igbo has very good culture, also have very good culture, but I conduct research about Yoruba. And it was saying that there are certain languages Africa should not allow to die. Don't allow it to die. It's not my, it's a Caucasian truth is in the internet that Buganda and Uganda, Asante, Buganda, Asante in Ghana, Yoruba in Nigeria, they have long history of culture and governance. They have a ready-made style of governance before Europeans came. So Miranda needs to teach our younger people that too. In the Parliament of India, they speak 4 languages. In the Parliament of India, that's a recognition for local content. So Miranda has come now as a mother. These are things that we need to be, we will support him as a mother society.
Okay.
Yes, a mother.
Okay, we know that she has served, in both the legislative and the executive here in Lagos State. How well positioned do you think she is for this new role? A lot people have been talking that, look, is she mature enough, for this role?
No, this question of maturity, people should not be talking about it again. Alexander the Great, he conquered the entire world at the age of 19. Jesus died in his 30s and
Do you think it's because she's a woman now? You're trying to play her down.
No, that's it. So we have started again with our... I hope it's not coming from the woman now. I hope it's not coming from
It's not coming from me. It's what people have been saying. I'm not the one saying it.
No, I know very well. You are, no, anybody who says you are not saying it's not fair because you are just reporting as a journalist. Obasanjo, a retired general, and for my at the age of 40. Gowon was not married before at 31. So what? And Miranda is it 31 now? And Miranda is way above.
She's over 40.
Over 40. Now, so which you younger are you talking about again? We can't be changing goalposts. When those old men were in 50, when they are 60, it changes. When they are 70, it changes. So we don't want. Then, as for the dual position she has served, the way it is helping Mr. President, it will also help her. The president has been in the parliament before as a senator. I heard of Asiwaju for the first time when we were in detention in 1992. There's a man, senator, is part of your cause. And the meeting was go back to the bar at that time. We had the first. So I met him eventually in 1994. I went in for 92, I met him in 94. But I was a senator then. And it's reflecting in his style of governance. You know that it's someone that had a depth understanding of the parliament. And he's been a 2-time governor. And he got further to and produced many governors in many states. So there's no direction you are coming from that you won't understand clearly what you meant by what you are saying. And when you go to the Senate, they're talking like colleagues. Unlike other presidents that will go with apprehension. Other people will go with apprehension. Oh, would they stole me? Would they do this? Would they accept my budget? But he was accepted because he was one of them. So it will be easy for Miranda to relate with Mr. Governor very well because he understands the terrain very well, the peculiarity of executive. He knows it. She knows it very well. So, and she's been in the parliament for so long time. So we are in a good hand. All we need to do as a people is to rally around them.
Okay, we're in good hands.
That's our responsibility. We have to rally around the parliament.
Our colleague Abimbola has a contribution.
Mr. Past Speaker, there have been issues of high-handedness, corruption, and all of that. So, and we know that the Assembly has oversight responsibilities. So, what are your expectations, or how would you want for the Assembly to improve on issues surrounding corruption and ensure proper budget implementation?
All right, thank you very much. First of all, any speaker or Senate president, talking about parliament generally now, one thing that should be constant in their mind is that they are just first among the equals. They are equal, so we are just pushed forward to come and serve, which is applicable to all leadership positions too that they are called to serve. You see, it's going to be ongoing accusation of corruption and issues like that, but people must always play their role. Give the person the opportunity to explain himself. And don't block justice. Yabile was John Keating all over the world. He was hiding and doing all sorts of... I was disappointed in him. That why will you be running away from justice? He's been giving bail now. They didn't kill you in the FCC net. So for us, any day, anytime you are going to serve the public, you must know that sometime, someday, you may be called to come and account for what you have done. And that is the area that is missing in the public, in the political life of our politicians. Two things. that you can be called to come and answer for what you have done. They
Accountability.
always take it, they don't take it lightly. One, two, they are not prepared for loss. For instance, now, Obasa is removed. The people who are making noise for his removal, you got there one day, you will not live one day.
Exactly.
That's not correct. In the Parliament of Britain, there are 4 prime ministers sitting that this republic, or this republic that's ongoing in Britain now, there are 4 former prime ministers in that parliament. They continue their duty and exercise. So it's ongoing. The question of corruption, allegations, and it will continue. If it is me that is giving my money from you, I will ask you a question. Even if you spend 12 naira for me, and I know I gave you 10 naira, I will still ask you, are you sure it's 12 naira you spent for me? And it's glaring. Anybody will be any problem will be spoken about. Even my salary. My wife will still be probing me about my salary. That's marital accountability. Accountability.
Yeah.
Not to talk of public money. So public money, we will ask questions, and there will be continue to be that allegation. Fair earnings should be given, and we should not block justice. So on this note too, allegation is allegation. So let him come and explain himself. So his colleagues who has been saying this for long, and that was why I said if I were him, I won't come for the 4th time, for the 3rd time, because after that crisis, I had in mind that maybe he won't come back. Because if he comes back, I knew he was going to come to this. We waited in that time. We spoke to the warning side, we spoke to his own side too. And I knew that, this is a crisis. This is a bundle of crisis. But we are lucky because APC has a mechanism. There are crises in other parties that have turned the party into shreds. But they have that mechanism. I don't know whether it's spiritual, maybe it is physical, maybe it is prayer, maybe they fast a lot, I don't know. But they have a mechanism that crisis you think is going to pull the party down. You just go seamlessly. Look at it's over now. People thought that Obasa will destroy, he will not. And before you know it, Miranda is gone 24 hours now. I mean 48 hours.
48 hours.
But before you know it, will be doing 1 year. She'll be doing 1 year. I know very well that APC has a mechanism for this. So for accountability is very, very important. We have to be accountable. It's going to be ongoing, like she has said, it's going to be ongoing. We have to keep probing our public office. We need to keep asking questions. Now there's local government autonomy. Don't keep quiet, though. The gutter in front of you is not Sanwo-Olu again, though. It's your local government chairman, though. Don't say Sanwo-Olu come and do no. Sanwo-Olu, governors don't hold chairman responsible. Yeah, it's not Tinubu. The president don't hold local government chairman. It's the people that hold their elected officers responsible. So that's about accountability.
Okay, just before we go, if you have the opportunity to advise Mojisola Miranda on her new role, what would you tell her?
The first thing is to make sure that she should study all the errors of Obasa very well and avoid it. Study very, very well and avoid it. And secondly, it should just be, it's a simple thing. What we demand from the police, it's a simple thing. Just be committed to the happiness of our people. Be supportive to the governor. Do your oversight function. And remember that Lagos is just a small piece of land. Law must be obeyed. Laws that is going to assist us to live together more. Advocacy on obeying of law should be done by the parliament. That if laws are obeyed, there will be peace and order. If they are disobeyed, there will be problem. I don't want to vote APC. I know that they will use it as smart to arrest me. So people vote because they want to disobey law. Abi? That's what people say. That's why I don't want to vote APC. So that kind of statement is lack of understanding of how society works. A state like Lagos, you obey difficult law. Otherwise, go to my town. The cars there are not many. Come up to my Ilorin. There's no much car.
Where's your town?
Ilorin. Go and go there. Or go to, because I don't want to use someone's town.
I don't want to say something.
So that they won't say that I'm insulting somebody. So go to my town. There are no many cars there. If you live in Lagos, you will obey. So these are kind of advocacy we need from Miranda that Lagos is organized. You will make it more organized if you obey the law. The laws we are making, it's not persecuting you. Don't park here. We don't know where you are going to park here today, but we just know that if you park here, it's going to be an obstruction. Laws, refuse, tax payment, and all these issues is to make society more organized. That's how all over the world. God made his own law. Don't do certain things. If you do, there will be consequence. I want to make heaven. That's what I mean. I'll be in the law. I take the remnant of what God has left for me in terms of a marital issue. So let's be committed to the laws of the land.
Okay.
We need to keep reminding us, and I wish her all the best.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much, Razak Olokoba, for sharing your thoughts on this important
It's a pleasure meeting you.
topic. And it's clear that the new leadership of the Lagos State House of Assembly has a monumental task ahead of her. And I'm sure that she has listened to all the advice that you've given to her today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a
The
pleasure.
conversation continues. Stay with us.